Hello, hello. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Donna.
We're here sharing what we've learned as women, entrepreneurs, and moms.
All while rocking our curves with confidence.
It's a behind-the-scenes look at our lives and businesses.
And a chance to tell our younger selves, go do the things that scare you. How has using your authentic voice helped you speak up, negotiate, or assert yourself in different environments?
Myself?
I think I have found using my voice for, like I talked about, having women in situations where they're trapped and they can't get out or they can't see the way out, helping them navigate through and helping them know that it's okay on the other side and that, yes, they can do it and steps to get there. I think being a voice, I'm very lucky. I have a great relationship with my husband. I have a great relationship with my kids. I have a great relationship with all of my family. And I know that not everybody does.
Yeah.
It's when you see situations where it's not that, it boils my blood.
Do you see that a lot in your business? Or just
sort of situational, right? Mm-hmm. Like I have a friend and I have like somebody at our shop and, those are two situations that, I hold very dear to my heart because
they're so close.
You want better for them.
Yeah.
So helping where I can and when I can, even being involved with Shifra Homes here in Burlington, met Nancy, through the chamber. She won an award for her work at Shifra Homes, and Shifra Homes is a place for homeless pregnant mothers.
Local?
In Burlington.
Wow, I didn't know.
Yeah, and we hadn't either, and she won this award, and I went up to her and I said, hey, like we'd love to bring you over some leggings and some hoodies for these mamas.
That's great.
Right? And so we went over to the house, and she had just purchased a second house, so it's a home in a neighborhood. She was telling me the story about one of the mamas there was living in the woods. She was 7 months pregnant, living in the woods.
In our community?
In our community. And so she came in. Shifra's I think it is the last place for pregnant women to go in Ontario. She's self-funded. Last year she opened her third home.
Wow.
They're all within walking distance of each other. They have, medical therapy. And she has programs that help these women.
Goosebumps.
I know. It is like,
what? I didn't even know.
It's such a beautiful program.
Wow.
And then we were working with 100 Women Who Care, and we nominated Shifra Homes and they got the donations from that 100 Women Who Care night. And so it's just, there's so much great community building. And like, these are women with
I didn't even know.
Human trafficked women.
Man.
Like,
why are these talked about more?
Yeah. Right. It's such an incredible program. And you're giving voices to these women who have definitely not been able to find their voice and setting them off in a different trajectory for life.
And knowing that there's someone there like you and her and this organization and all of this that they can rely on or they can talk to or just have a home from, right? I don't think people know about this. I think people should know more about this. I think we should talk more about that stuff because we don't know enough. Like, I don't know enough about that stuff. You hear, Halton Women's Place or Shelter for Women, that sort of stuff, but you don't hear about all those other types of organizations that are...
And I will say, being a part of the 100 Women Who Care, so I'm part of the 100 Women Who Care Burlington chapter because she's got legs in Burlington. And, I look at it as a community building kind of thing. Yeah. And it's so there's different chapters in all different cities. You go 4 times a year, you donate $100. But because there's over 100 women, you are making a $10,000 plus impact. I'm
part of it in Oakville.
Were you? Oh, good.
I am.
Good.
I haven't been to an event yet.
It's such a great way to make such a large impact for these organizations. And there's so many smaller organizations that need support and assistance, or even just more people knowing about them.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome.
It's like a great
I know I heard one time that the number of homeless people like in Oakville or in Halton was over like 700 people. And I was like, what? 700 families? Like, how do we not know about this? How do we not have people out there trying to help these people? Like, how do we, like, I know there are, but
Yes.
why do we just not know about this? Like, what else can we do, right?
Yeah.
Sad, right?
And it's talking about it, right? It's all the goodness that happens between networking groups and the social commitments
And that's
that people
why it's
make.
important to join these organizations or
it
these
is.
networking groups or these, 100 women who care.
Yeah. And
'Cause
you meet
learn.
the loveliest people.
Yeah,
You
do.
meet
Well,
the-
now I'm excited for the next event because I haven't been. So I haven't been to one. I joined, I think, right after their last meeting or right before the last meeting, and I had an event and I couldn't go, so I did give my donation. But I think the other one's coming up pretty soon. So
We just had ours on Wednesday night, and that was the night of that big incident on the Skyway Bridge with the truck, and so everything was shut down.
Oh, the fire.
Everything was shut down.
The fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the fire. So everybody was like, nobody could get to the meeting. So some of us could. So we're sitting there, and then the chair came in, and she's like, okay, like, we don't have enough people here. But some of the organizations were there. So we got like a personal one-on-one
Yeah.
with some of these other organizations,
I'd
which
love
was
to
cool.
know more
But
about them.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
that stuff really, I really love that kind of stuff because you don't hear enough about it. You only hear about the bigger organizations
Or
the
ones
big
in the schools. Like, you
Yeah.
hear a lot about in the schools when your kids are in school, right? So it's finding, the activities going on in the community. And there's so much. Like, and those are the authentic voices of those people.
Yeah.
Right? Being out there helping others. And
So good. Good for you.
that's a good.
You say authentic voice, help you speak up, negotiate, assert yourself in different environments. I don't know, for me, it's a hard one.
It is. And I think it's very
That's it.
situational.
I think because I've just kind of come back to myself, come back to business in the sense that I'm out and about and doing things in the community or getting to know new people again. So I've always asserted myself with myself. I was like, yeah, talk to myself all day long. But, being out there and speaking to people, and I think with the more people I speak to, the more I realize I may have to offer, right? And in a way that I want to do it. So I think coming back to that and being who I am in that sense of, let's go to this network event and learn something new or talk about this or talk about what I do or how I do it and the different things. I've slowly learning to come back to that.
I think too, it's those situations, right, where you're kind of like not. So in negotiation could be many different things, right? Like, negotiation with a spouse is much different than negotiation about a job.
Yes.
But again, you're still using a voice inside of you and trying to.
Then I used a very authentic voice on Friday night with my real estate counterpart. You just come to a point where it's like, okay, this is it. This is enough. This is how it's going to go. I can only talk about the value in a property so much. And, the realtor says to me, oh, I see your point. I see your point. And I'm like, then why are we here? Like, you need to then translate that to your client. I said I would have no problems talking to your client and telling them the value I see in the home or how I came up with the pricing. So for me, that comes from knowledge, it comes from experience, and it comes from that combination of knowing something that I can be authentic and assert myself.
And knowing your value.
Yeah.
Right? Hey, I only have so much time.
Yeah.
Time is my bank.
It is. And this week I had so much time. It was so nice, actually. I know we didn't get together a lot and do this, but I was like, I had a lot of free days last week. So I was able to be in the studio creating. Friday, Paul and I went to our accountant, and then I went up with a friend. We watched his daughter play. And then in the middle of it, you get this offer and you're like, oh my God, really? You're wasting my time. But anyway, you do your job and you go ahead and you work for the best interest of your client. But at the end of the day, I still have to work for that client and explain to these people, this is the value I came up with. And I'm like, do I have to be that authentic?
I have a funny story. We went to this, it was I can't remember the name of the company. They were based out of Texas. They were up here doing kind of like seminars on selling your business, right?
Oh.
And so I know nothing about selling a business, not in the market for it, but it's like, okay, if somebody had approached me,
Smart.
I know nothing about it.
Smart.
So let me go learn. So we booked the afternoon with this company, both Sean and I, because also buying a business, right? And so they talked about a lot about the baby boomers, how so many of them are retiring. And, so if you're looking to buy a business, like you have so much knowledge that can be transferred to you buying these businesses that they're retiring from. So he said, like if you want to start something, now is the time to start something because you have unimagined knowledge available to you, which is great, right? And so chatting with them, and then he's like, okay, let's book an appointment. So he comes to the shop and we're talking about different things, and never have I felt so I don't even know the right word, like total friction.
Really?
From this guy that came, and with his big Boston accent and his the comment that got me the most. And so I reminded him that we are a women-run organization.
Oh.
And
Wrong place to get that from.
Right, like, and so his whole tone was very misogynistic, and I'm like, again, we're a women-run organization here. And so
Did he not clue in?
No. And so I had said something about my father, and he goes, because my dad had lent me money for some stuff. And he goes, oh, daddies never expect their daughters to pay them back.
What?
And I'm like, as soon as he said that, I was like, never will I ever fucking do business with you, buddy. Never, ever, ever. I could not wait for him to get out of there so fast.
Some people don't realize what they're saying.
I know. And like,
read the room.
And I'm
Hold on a second.
Sean's sitting in there, and he's sitting
like,
back,
oh,
and he's
boy.
like, oh my God, is she going to blow? Is she going to blow? Like twice I said to him, yeah, we're a women-run organization here.
What's wrong with people?
And I'm like, hello?
What
the hell?
But I don't want to say what I'm going to say.
I know.
I'm not going to say it.
Let
I
me
keep
tell
my
you.
mouth shut. I need to keep my mouth shut because I can say something that's not very, very nice right now. But look where it comes from.
Now, I will say he wanted to buy something for his wife, and I'm going to tell you, oh, yeah, I took his money. I sent him home with a $300 order. It's like, yeah.
People?
Like, get out of here.
What is wrong with people?
I don't
think I've encountered that in business. Maybe I have when I was younger. Like, honestly, like being a young realtor.
It was so condescending.
Yeah.
Like, it still makes, no.
Well, I'm lying to you. I'm actually lying to you when I say that. Because I have experienced that. Owning the hockey team. Mm-hmm. Owning the hockey team.
Non-typical
yes.
female environment.
So my husband and I own the team, co-owners. And when we started the team, it was kind of us and a GM. And then fortune situations changed, and it was just Paul and I. And I remember saying, what are we going to do now? How are we going to get players? I don't watch players. I only watch my kid. Paul's like, I've never watched a player. I just watch the game. And I'm like, Paul's not on social media. I always tell him, Paul, you got to post your photos of your business. He's like, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you need to know you're working. And then I
And you do so good at social media.
Thank you. I took over social media, and I'm posting, and, there's players liking the page and people following the page and all this. And I said, you know what, maybe I'll just go through social media and message potential players. Right. And I remember sending the message, and it's hard for me to understand this because I think I've done a good job with my children in telling them they need to respect people of all genders and sexes, and you need to answer them equally. It's not like one over the other or one knows more than the other. So I'm going to be like, thank you I don't even know what the thing was. Thank you so much. This is the owner of the Toronto Flyers, Melissa Hull. Just wondering if you're skating for another team this year or whatever it was. We'd like for you to come out for a skate. And it was like crickets, like nothing. And I said, one person would message back and forth. And I was like, okay, this is weird. So I left it for a few weeks. I'm like, you know what? I'm getting a message from Paul. Literally the same person the same message from Paul. And it's like, oh, Mr. Dericio, thank you very much. Blah, 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 blah. I'd like to come on. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, are you kidding me? Like, do you understand? Like, we are the same people. We're equal in this partnership. We're equal owners in this team.
It's funny how that is, hey?
And I don't know if it's just the sport. I don't know if it's a very, not anymore, I'd say male dominant sport, but there's not anymore. There's a lot of females that play and professionals that play. And we have had, interesting enough, Lucas, goalie coach from the time he was 7 years old till he was 17, was a female. She was the starting goaltender for the Toronto Furies. Went to Harvard. We even went down to Boston. We went to Harvard. All of her awards are there. Like, it's everywhere. So he's always had a female in his hockey life. So maybe it's not weird for my kid. I don't know, but I just can't believe the reception coming back. Mm-hmm. And there's even I don't do any of the owners meeting stuff like that. Like, I don't step into that role. I've let Paul do that. Maybe that's wrong, but I trust him because I would probably not be as nice as Paul in situations. But we have one female owner that goes to everything. And I give that woman so much credit for standing there amongst all those men and owning a team and doing the job she does, because man, oh man, it would be so hard. I would be biting my tongue. I don't understand. And it's such to see it from the younger generation. And then I'm like, really? Like, you at that age already have that train of thought. Like, I'm not going to answer this person because it's a female, maybe. Like, why wouldn't you answer me if I was the owner of a team?
And I think we just need to keep speaking up.
Yeah.
Right? We need to keep, like, I remember Dana Kirkpatrick,
right? Yeah.
Like, how cool was that there was a woman race car driver?
So amazing.
Even watching football now, there's so many more women that are involved. Not just like in a cheerleader role. No. Right? Like, these sportscasters that know their stuff. Like, they are diehard. They've, sat watching football their whole life. Right. Like, and representing, because, and I own a mare, like, watching the Canadian women's rugby this weekend. Would I ever have known this a year ago? No. She has single-handedly done more for not only women's rugby, but body positivity and amazing. Being a female athlete than I think. And
why? Like, if you follow her on social media, talk about authenticity.
Yes. Right? I started following her when she was the Olympian in the Olympic Village, treating it like Love Island. Yeah. It was so freaking hilarious. Like, she has such a great sense of humor about it. Oh, she's
so awesome.
And I think that's the win, right? Like, you were just out there. You gotta have fun in life. You cannot take it too seriously because there are dickheads everywhere. There's like, so people don't be a dickhead, but
it's so hard though.
And you gotta be able to use your voice and get through it. And be true to you.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you 100% on that. Oh,
if it's a boss at work, in
some capacity.
Yes. Sexual stuff should always, you never ever put up with that stuff. No. Never ever. I've never had that at any work.
Neither have I, but there's still there's that generation that's still around that still wants to talk to women a certain way or be like, hey girl, or hey baby, or like the comments and the crassness that comes with it sometimes. And some, like, I hear it and I just like shake my head. I'm like, really? Do you not know where we are? And I'm probably equally as bad in some respect for certain things, but I'm just like, do you not hear what you're saying?
Well, my father has always been a kisser, always. So whenever he meets anybody, not men, but women, right? And like for decades, it's like, Dad, no, just kiss them on the cheek. Just like no kisses, like no. And, he's 87. Am I going to be, I keep trying to get there, but
it's hard. It's hard to tell them because that's like how they grew up. I had this conversation with my parents, I think on Friday, and I was talking. They're asking about the podcast. They're like, "How's it going?" and this and that. And I said, "Good." And I said, "Well, I'm sure you're not going to want to hear this, but I did talk about some stuff, right, with us and the family." And my mom was like, what did you talk about? And I said, well, like we talked about generations. And I said, we talked about like weight and like that sort of stuff and, you know, where it may come from. And, you know, I said, just think of when you grew up, like the images you had of women, makeup done, dresses on, in their high heels, apron, cooking dinner, taking care of the kids. Like now, my hair's like this, no makeup. I'm in my pajamas. Yeah, it breathes.
Let me get dinner.
Yeah.
I'll make dinner tonight.
Delivered to the right house, Donna.
Yes.
But like, so those are the things, right? Like I said, it is situational and it's for your time. So it's not anything wrong with it. My dad's like, we just didn't know better.
Exactly. Right.
So I hope
and the
we
more
can
we
do
use
better.
our authentic voices and say, hey, like the whole Me Too movement.
Yeah.
Like that's a big authentic voice. Like, okay, it's not okay to do this.
Not at all. And so many people
and it
coming
changes. Like eventually things change. Things have changed so much in the last 20 years than they did the 20 years before. So
even going to high school, I went to Catholic school. Wore a kilt. They don't wear kilts anymore. No kilts in high schools. It's like not even mandatory. I don't think they even sell them anymore, which is crazy to me. But whatever. It's how it's changed. But it's awesome. Thank you for joining us today at the Nucking Futz podcast.
If you like this podcast, please share by liking and subscribing. Feel free to leave any comments and reach us at hello@thenuckingfutz.com.
Just a reminder, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. If you are struggling, know that you are not alone. Please reach out for professional help.
You can join our newsletter at thenuckingfutz.com to follow our journey. Looking for Donna at work? You can find her great leggings and leisure wear as well at She's Got Legs.
Looking for me, Melissa Hall? You can reach me at Brag About It Jewelry or I am Melissa Hall for real estate.